Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late March 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Libras in late March? It is Aries season, a beautiful time of year. Let's see what energies, messages, insights that we could pull for our good friends. And yeah, we're just going to take one real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra. What is the vibe? What's the energy here for my good friends? Please. There we go. Nice and quick. Okay. A little softer than what we had last week, that's for sure. This could be a very sleepy type of energy. It's super etheric, and this does remind me a lot of what I often see in water sign readings. So maybe some of you have water sign placements, but yeah, when I see this, it's like super imaginative. Now, we can connect into a lot of different things, including spirituality. Now, before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady. She's nude, but she is also doing like some sort of meditative process. The background of this card is absolutely beautiful. To me, it's like super colorful and etheric, and it's dreamy. Notice that there's a clock here, but the numbers, they're all flying off, right? So to me, it feels like a dream state of some sort. Now, for some Libras, this could literally represent sleep in the dreams that you're having. You might want to jot down your dreams, especially if you're having very vivid ones, okay, because Spirit could be trying to communicate with you via dream. But if that's not the case, maybe you just need more rest. Maybe you need a little more sleep when this card is here. Hopefully your energy doesn't feel down or you're having insomnia. That would be the worst case scenario. But the good thing I like about this is that it's very imaginative. So I'd say the only thing to really watch out for would be overthinking or getting stuck with your head in the clouds a little too long. Nothing wrong with a little daydreaming, nothing wrong with a little imagination, but you don't want to get stuck there, right? But now could be a great time for any creative pursuit as well. So this card has a lot of positives to it. So lots of layers, and there's spiritual aspects too. So we're just going to leave her over there. She could keep meditating. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Libras. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled An Explosive Warning, but it wasn't as bad as the title might make it seem. To me, it just felt like for a lot of Libras, the energy was super unpredictable. We had like a lot of Aries energy, we had a ton of fire, and it was making me chuckle at certain points throughout the reading because I was like, all right, this is kind of funny. That's an energy that could bleed over for a couple weeks. So just know there might be certain impulses that flare up within you. There might be certain unpredictable things popping up. That was the big vibe I was getting. So hopefully you could really hone that energy into something positive. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the lovely Libras. What's happening in late March in Aries season? There we go. Okay, Hierophant, total opposite from what we had last week. A super, super grounded type of vibe. Let's get a couple more. I don't want to speak on it too much. This could be good for spiritual type of things, but let's get a couple more. I usually like to start a spread with an action card. Let's get 2 more here. Okay. Queen of Swords, that's one of your power cards. Remember, it's not gender specific, but that is one of the cards I link heavily to the Libra collective. Let's get one more out here. I mean, she could be very stern, very serious. And another one of your cards, wow. There's a certain authoritative type of energy I'm picking up for you this week, but we have Lady Justice herself chilling right here. So this is super unique, especially like from all the other readings I've been doing. It's like your energy is showing up here very, very powerfully. And that could also connect with what's going on astrologically. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I know I've been saying a few things already. I always look at the elements first because they give me clues about what you might be dealing with and how energy is moving. Obviously, two very strong, powerful cards, your power cards, Libra. And again, not gender specific, but with the Queen of Swords, Lady Justice, that's air element. That's the element you're comfortable in. So whether this is like self-confidence or doing what's right for yourself or stuff like that, to me, your energy showing up in a very prominent position. Same could be said with Lady Justice and the Hierophant. These are very powerful, authoritative type of energies. So this could be good. Now, I did mention that there's a lot of stuff going on astrologically, and that is the case. It is currently Aries season. Aries is right across from Libra in the zodiacal wheel. So all the astrological things happening in Aries could start triggering some of your Libra placements, okay, in very powerful ways. We do have Earth here in the beginning, but let's go through each one piece by piece and really start to build this out, because I have a feeling your reading's going to have a lot of layers this week. But position number one, we are starting with the Hierophant. Now, it does connect to Taurus. If you're connected to Taurus, this could just represent them. The Hierophant is one of the most dense cards symbolically in the whole entire deck. First and foremost, this is a strong card of spirituality. So whether it's spiritual practice, spiritual rituals that you might do, this could also represent institutions. So like churches, it could represent corporations, it could represent governments. So we think power structures when we see this Hierophant. It could represent people in a position of authority. So whether it's bosses, whether it's you having authority over certain things and decisions, it could be good like that. There are drawbacks to this energy, and we'll get to that in a moment. When it comes to the Hierophant, it's not really thinking outside the box. We're thinking like our day-to-day routine. So whereas last week it was very unpredictable and sporadic and spontaneous, this is not that. This is the total opposite 180 type of vibe. But notice the Queen of Swords, one of your power cards, kind of has its back turned to this. So watch out for like feelings of boredom or feeling cooped up. That can most definitely pop up for a lot of Libras in this time. A challenge that comes with the Hierophant, it's immovable. It's an energy that is very, very slow. It's very, very sturdy. It's very, very stable. And that could be good for some of you, but at the same time, it could be dry, right? Especially for an air sign like yourself. Now, moving to the center, we have the Queen of Swords. Like I mentioned, notice she has her back turned to that Hierophant. So there could still be this little undertone of like spontaneity to a lot of you, but this card is very stern. This card is about her business. Now, it could be another air sign you're connected to, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, any of them. But when I see her, as with any queen, they represent the internal aspects of the suit. And what do we think of with swords? It's a very smart, intelligent type of energy. It's a card of strategy. It's a card of planning. As far as communication goes, this is no frills, no BS, straightforward, no nonsense. And a lot of people like to say Libras are the more judicial ones of the whole entire zodiac. They're, they're mediators, they're problem solvers. This card could represent that, but it's also a little more straightforward. It's not messing around. It's not mincing words. Very stern and very serious in its approach. So whether it's something you need to take seriously or something that you are, we're just going to have to look into her further. Now, a big challenge with her, she could represent someone that's mean, someone that's being a little cold. That could represent cutting certain things out. Now, moving to the very back end, we have another one of your power cards, your most powerful power card, Lady Justice. Now, some of the other things she represents aside from you, because in my simplistic style of reading, especially with two power cards, clarifiers might just tell us certain things that are going to be coming towards you, things you might be feeling, things you might be doing. But Lady Justice links to legalities sometimes. So whether it's contracts, work contracts, or new homes, new vehicles, anything you're putting your signature on, Lady Justice rules over it. So just be cautious with anything legal or legally binding in this time with Lady Justice. She balances the scales. She makes things right. She makes sure things are balanced and fair. Okay. She is the strongest karmic card. What goes around comes around. She often shows up when we're going through certain karmic cycles, karmic changes, karmic situations. So she is very important within this reading, and I can't wait to clarify her. I would say a big challenge with Lady Justice could be there might be certain things going on where you might feel like, no, this isn't balanced, this isn't fair, something's off. So we'll just have to see, but I mean, she could also be a position of authority. We got a lot happening here this week, Libra. I want to dive deeper on all of it, though. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay. Let's get a good shuffle here from my lovely Libras, please. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Hierophant. Let's see what the Hierophant's doing. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Libra, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Hierophant time. What is the Hierophant doing here? King of Swords in reverse. You know, Libra, the energy just does feel a little bit dry to me. The energy, I don't know why it's coming through that way. When I see the Hierophant with the King of Swords, another one of the cards that could represent you, you might need to change something from your like normal schedule or normal routine. That's just how it feels. Because when I see the King of Swords in reverse, usually in the upright, he's very similar to the Queen, where he's strategizing, he's planning, he's doing this, he's setting things in motion. When I see him in reverse, it's like, I'm not planning anything, or it's like, I'm not setting the stage for something. So when I see her turning her back to the Hierophant, him upside down under the Hierophant, there could be something about your regular schedule or your regular routine where it might be good and beneficial to switch it up a little bit. Okay, whether it's people in your life, I mean, we do have a lot of court cards, we have a lot of people that could potentially be here, whether it's your regular routine, whether it's a work thing, maybe you need a little vacation, it could be anything. I just feel like I need to switch something up because this is getting a little dull, all right, or something might feel a little boring. Okay, well, again, I'm not being judgmental, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but yeah, the King of Swords in reverse, watch out for issues with authority figures too. That might be something that crops up. Like when I see the Hierophant with this, it's like, it could possibly be an issue, but let's keep moving. I don't want to call this a problem or an issue just yet. I want to see what else shows up within the reading itself. But there's just something here where it's like, no, I need to switch it up. I need to liven this up a little bit. So maybe go out and have some fun if you can. But let's see what's up with the Queen of Swords. Let's see what's up with her. I feel like that was a very simple message. It doesn't have to be terrible. I mean, if you're connected to another air sign, just watch out. There might be tensions. But let's go in on the Queen of Swords. Quick. Another person. So there's a certain magnetism I'm picking up around the Libra collective this week. I'm getting tons and tons and tons of court cards here. Okay, and notice how the Queen of Swords, it's like I'm not even trying. It's like I'm not even trying, but all this energy is like coming my way. Page of Wands in reverse. Watch out for miscommunications. Watch out for explosive talks or conversations. So similar to that energy I saw last week where things could happen. There could be conversations you're not expecting to have. Okay, when you mix the fire and the air, there's so much air within this spread. We throw in that Page of Wands, that spark. So again, watch out for the unexpected or surprising talks. That could be a huge thing. But yeah, when the page is in reverse under the Queen of Swords, it's like, I'm not even trying to. I'm not trying to pull this energy towards me. I'm not trying to have this conversation, but it's like it's coming your way one way or another. So I would say watch out for that. But again, I feel you just pulling lots of things in with this page in reverse. Now, another thing I'm picking up here that's a little bit of a warning, especially since the back is turned to all this routine. If there's anything right now that you feel is draining you, okay, so whether it's a person, whether it's a situation you're dealing with, or a part of your routine, page in reverse, the Page of Wands in reverse could be someone that's feeling sucked dry or drained from something. So I do feel like there might be something you just need to switch up, especially if it's like, oh, when I think about it, I dread it. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. Let's keep moving. Again, you're like pulling all this energy towards you, but it's like I kind of don't want to. It's like giving me that odd type of vibe. But let's see what's up with Lady Justice. I would say watch out for the miscommunications, but the initial first thing I was feeling here, surprising or unexpected talks. And you might not be the one bringing them up. So let's go in on Lady Justice here. There could be like a lot, like the people around you too could be going through a lot, especially with all the court cards in reverse. It's like, all right, what's going on with all these people? But let's see why Lady Justice is here. Okay. King of Wands. All right, this energy does feel better on the back end, but if you would notice, my good friends, it's more of the fire-air combination. So we did have this little earth in the beginning that kind of grounded us down. Now we're back completely to the vibe I was picking up last week, where it's just like, boom, it's like things could spark off here. Now, this energy here on the back end does feel balanced. It does feel nice. I do like this. The King of Wands in the upright, if we're not talking about a fire sign individual, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the King of Wands directs where it puts its attention. And notice underneath Lady Justice, it's like, my attention's on you. So like I've been saying, it's giving me here they come, here it comes type of energy. Okay. And whether you're manifesting it and pulling it your way, whether you're not, the Libras might have a certain sense of magnetism about them in this time. But like some of the energy is coming at you a little sideways. Some of the energy, it's like, how about no? How about you don't? But this one here on the back end feels okay to me. It feels welcomed and it feels balanced. I guess it's all about the approach, right? Because the King of Wands is way different than this Page of Wands in reverse. I'm getting a lot of people or energy of others. So it's like on the top, all you. On the bottom, all others. So it's like an interesting dynamic that we have going on. I feel like this back end energy is pretty good. Now, yes, we could be talking about karmic changes you're going through, of course, with Lady Justice. But I feel like there's a lot of communication and there's a lot of magnetism. So it's like, yeah, ready or not, here they come. Or here comes type of energy. You're pulling people in. Some of you might want that. Some of you maybe not. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. So this reading has a lot of different things happening. So for some Libras, you might just be chilling, doing your own thing, minding your own business. But it's like the world around you, it's like haywire, kind of. Not wishing that on anyone, but I feel like your energy feels more balanced for the most part. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Hierophant with the King of Swords in reverse. So watch out for issues with authority figures. I did also say you might need to switch up your routine a little bit, do something a little more spontaneous. There could be something that feels a little dry or something that's a little boring to you. So watch out for feelings like that in this time. You might just need to have fun some way, somehow. Moving to the center, we have the Queen of Swords with the Page of Wands in reverse. This could be unexpected or surprising talks coming in, ones you weren't expecting to have, ones that you're not even initiating, but it's like, yeah, it's coming your way anyway. Like one way, somehow, this conversation is going to be had. And this is where the magnetism really starts picking up as well. If there's someone or something that really drains you and makes you feel drained, it's okay to put up a barrier in the meantime, because you might need to recoup some energy. Moving to the back end, we have the Lady Justice with the King of Wands. That energy feels good. So whereas like all this energy here in the front, it feels a little hectic, feels a little haywire. This one here on the back feels more balanced and it feels welcome. Okay, so I did also say, watch out, you're pulling lots of people, lots of situations your way. Ready or not, here they come type of energy. But I feel like this is good on the back end because it's approaching, but it's approaching in a different way. So I think it's good. So Libra, please take a screenshot. You're going to have an interesting week, that's for sure, with all this fire and air. But let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for the Libras? Thank you. And the Hierophant again. Okay, so the card that led off is also the card that's in the shadows. So all the things I warned about in the very beginning could also warn about it here. And again, there is just something here about the routine, the regular schedule that you might need to tweak. You might need to switch it up just a little bit. Doesn't feel like you have to make drastic changes. But if you're not connected to a Taurus, when I see the Hierophant showing up in the shadows, it's like an energy. It's hard to move for one reason or another. It's an energy that feels a little stuck, feels a little planted. So watch out in this time specifically for feeling smothered or even cabin fever when this card shows up. But again, I do feel like maybe a little spontaneity might do you some well or do you some good when this card shows up. You might need to cut loose and have a little bit of fun, but specifically watch out for issues with authority figures. That's something I've been picking up. So we're going to leave it at that for now, my beautiful Libras. That's what I have for you. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The March subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me and get a little glimpse into whatever situations you're dealing with, you can check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March schedule is up and live, but for the March subscriber surprise, giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, where in this beautiful big world are you from? I'll go first. I'm from New Jersey, and you could just put it down in the comments and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.